We're recording now, and we're here with Charles Mattocks at Let Your Voice Be Heard. And I'm going to say a short prayer, and then he's going to tell us his story. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray. I just want to tell you, God, how awesome you are, that we can't do anything without you. Let us be lights in the darkness, and let these stories and Charles' story be able to open up people's hearts and their ears and their eyes, and just have people support each other, and just give the love that you desire, and let things be your will and not our own. We thank you so much for all you do and letting us be here, and please let this touch somebody's heart. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Charles. If you maybe speak just a little louder, and then let's go ahead and tell us your story.
Where can I start? I can start if I was born by a coal miner's daughter. No, I'm joking with you. But wow. Well, where I'm at now. How about that? I'll start with where I'm at now, then I'll go back and tell my story. I think it'll kind of match itself. So where I'm at now is pretty much working on this awesome film based on CRPS, which is a terrible condition called complex regional pain syndrome. My mother suffered with it, and after my father's passing about a year ago, I was inspired after going to see her right after he passed, and just seeing her in tremendous pain, and realize, you know what, I didn't want another parent to be lost, as she was kind of talking about, wishing she wasn't here and things like that, and being under this pain. And so I felt, you know what, I needed to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I started on this crusade and to tell her story, which ended up becoming an international story, as this condition and disease is international, worldwide, and it is rated as the worst pain on the Gill pain scale, higher than childbirth and amputation. And you can imagine living like that must be a nightmare, day and night. So met some amazing people and started to create, which I'm very proud of. Some of the amazing people that are helping us now is a social movement. It wasn't just about creating a film. It was creating a movement that could, we hope, shake up the world in some form or fashion, and allowing the people to become part of their own movement, and moving and leveraging, the people to help, get the film where it needed to be, allowing them to dictate the success of it, because, if you have a film like this and it's on Netflix, and you have 1 million people that see it that have this condition, you almost have 1 million people guaranteed who are going to see it. That's a fantastic, fantastic numbers for any network, this many outlets. So realizing that, the people could finally share their message with doctors and others
Absolutely.
Around the world, and pharmaceutical companies, and nutraceutical companies, and anybody who could help them, help themselves, because they're hard workers who, this disease also could happen to anybody at any time. That's the scary part. So that's part of what I'm doing right now as we speak, and I don't know if you have a question, because I can keep going, but I don't want to just keep going, so
yes,
I'll throw it back to you.
Okay. Well, again, I am so sorry about your mom and your father, and I have to agree that complex regional pain syndrome, it changes your life in a blink of an eye, and it can happen to anybody. And 5% of all injuries wind up with complex regional pain syndrome. And I'm sure, as seen by your mother, when somebody is initiated with, well, not initiated, but I don't even know the right word to put for when they contract CRPS. It affects not just the person, but everything in their lives, everyone, and it leaves no stone unturned.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and it's so devastating because it's really hard, to at times see the illness as a visible, because so much of it is behind the scenes. It affects the nervous systems, the central nervous system and the parasympathetic system are fighting each other.
That's right.
I thank you. Yeah, I thank you so much, Charles, for what you're doing. This is so awesome, and we really need people out there especially clinicians and insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies, to understand and to educate themselves about, and even the families and loved ones, about this illness. And the one thing that's,
we really do.
Yeah, and the one thing that's really bad about this illness is not only does it tear the whole system down, many times it brings other baggage. Lyme disease, cancer, fibro, you name it, lupus, whatever, and then we fight with other illnesses and trying to find out, one overlaps the other, so, and how to define it. Where does it end and where does it begin? So, yes, it's very, very complex. Why don't you tell us,
That's right, you sound very versed in it.
I have complex regional pain syndrome.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I only stepped off the stair.
Well, that's, I say that because, for those who may not know, I just wanted them to know that, what I mean?
And, like I said, all it took for me was to step off a stair and tear a ligament completely off my ankle, and I wound up with CRPS, and I was very fit into martial arts, just graduated from my law enforcement, and I was ready to go, and then bam, my life changed. So I just want people to understand also that, the complex regional pain syndrome also spreads, and with too much exercise, not enough, surgery, ice, stress, there's so many things, another injury, and even surgery. I already said that, and so it can be very scary at times for the patient, because they fall in, many, not all, but many fall into this darkness, and they feel that they're all alone because nobody understands this illness. And that's why it's another word for suicide disease. And it's I want people to know that you're not alone. There are many of us out here that understand, and all you have to do is not be silent. That's the key. Do not be silent, and keep fighting to find those people. Don't isolate yourself. So we can't make change if we're silent, isn't that right?
That is 150% right. You got that right.
Yeah. So tell us more about the movie and that. Tell us, how did you get everybody involved and get the movement going and so forth? Tell us more about it.
Well, I reached out to a lady who has a nonprofit for CRPS. She's also a patient too. She's an advocate named Nancy Cotterman, and she literally embraced me and started putting me together with other people who had CRPS. She invited me over her house. I met her support group.
Awesome.
From there, she just then put me in touch with doctors that she knew locally, and fortunately there were a few that were, at least two that were here, that, allowed us to, film them. And, it just kept spreading like that, and it was just, a true gift. And we filmed some amazing people from young to old. I think our youngest was 14 years old, and then
Wow.
oldest was, I think, 80, 81.
Wow.
Well, not with CRPS, but his wife has, I think she's 80. Laura Lee's mother, who's actually featured in it, who's 80 years old, was just diagnosed with CRPS at 80. So it was a moving piece. We're dedicating the piece to a young girl named Hannah, who I got a chance to know her and her family very well. Hannah was 19 years old, and she passed away 2 days after we finished the film.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It was very heartbreaking because she was a young, beautiful girl who had, full of life, full of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, one of those people where you think, no, she's going to be here, you know what I'm saying? You can't even see her, not because she was so giving, she would have been a great face for see.
Hello?
So we dedicated the film to her, and we're just excited about, getting the word out there and kind of pulling the people together. I think the condition people needed a movement, and I think they allowed me to kind of help open that door, and it's up to them now to keep running with it and keep passing that ball and that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. How can if other people wanted to help, how could they help Charles?
Well, I say right now, the best way to help is to get on social media, tell friends, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. A lot of people may not have some of those things or even know how to work them. I've noticed that a lot of people know Facebook, but not everybody knows Twitter. So what we're trying to do is create a campaign. We're trying to create a movement. So get on there, share tweets, share information, send that website, get friends to go to our Facebook, like, comment. We even have people asking them to call news stations. We have people asking them to call newspapers. We have them trying to reach reporters to get interviews. And I mean, literally, it should be a team. It should not just be, one person or trying to find a PR person or a marketing person. We should involve the people because they're very talented. Some come from amazing business backgrounds, and some have done marketing. So we should, reach out to the people and allow them to help. Just like you're doing this radio show now, we should, create the movement. It has to continue like this, even when I'm gone.
That's so awesome.
Stay positive. We've got to make sure that we keep the community very positive because the world is looking at this now, whether we believe it or not. We've shared this information with some major movers in the world, and they are looking now. So there's no place for negative words. There's no place for infighting. There's no place for anything other than pure, honest positivity. No place for it. Everybody's going to have their hard days. Trust me, everybody's going to be. You might stub your toe and get ready to say a bad word. But don't take that bad toe stub out on anybody else. You know what I mean? Don't take the pain out on anybody else. I say if you're not feeling great and you want to get on social media, stay away. Because it's just hang in there and do what you got to do to build yourself up before you get feeling terrible and miserable and then get on social media and want to ruin somebody else's day. And that just goes for anything, not just any condition. That goes because I fight for diabetes too as well, so that goes for anything, not just CRPS. But if you're in a bad mood, stay away from a place that is meant to
Absolutely, because I've had experiences, when my pain has reached the ultimate, and I still feel like, oh, I want to still go out there and do something, and then you realize, wow, you're affecting other people with your pain, and you don't even realize it. And so I have this rule that when my pain gets to a certain level, I shut down things. If I can't go and just post positive things, like go to the positive distraction group, and all you do in that group is you just post. You don't talk to anybody, you don't do anything else, it's everything positive. But I've learned I have to stay away, because you affect other people and you don't even realize it. And staying positive is so important. And one of the things that I wanted to go back to when you were talking about spreading the social media, people need to remember that, look at it like this. At one point, cancer was not known. But how did they do it? It's already been set for us. We do exactly what they did. We bind together and keep passing the word. And we will get there also, just like cancer has, to get the word out. We can't give up. We have to work together. And
2016 should be the year. I think that 2016 should be the year that CRPS is shared world. That's what I feel.
One of the other things that I think about this is that, and this is really great. This is what you're doing is really, really good. And educating people is only a portion of it, because people, when they think about educating, they think about, well, I know about the disease because I read it out of textbook. Well, it's or watch this movie. Well, it's not just that. There are do's and don'ts with people with complex regional pain syndrome. We're all alike, but yet we're all so different. And a lot of people forget or don't even know not to touch us. You got to ask us before you touch us, or parking us under vents, and just there's so many do's and don'ts. That clinicians need to be educated also, and insurance companies need to give us better options for treatments.
That's right. That's right. And so I think what I'd like to do is kind of, because obviously I started kind of backwards a little bit, but
yes.
So I'm sure people might be wondering who I am, but so I started off, inspired by my late uncle, which is the legendary Bob Marley.
Wow.
And I say that because obviously every story has to have a start, middle, and end. So inspired by him, and knowing that I wanted to do something great and achieve something and leave something great. I didn't know what it was at that point, at that age. The only thing there was rap music.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a kid, I don't care whether you're white or black, or orange or red. It's not like I could pull together a band. I didn't know anything about doing a band. Mm-hmm. Rap music was, the thing to do. So it was like, what? Let's try that. So did very well with that. Made records and worked with some of the biggest people in business. Traveled and didn't have the crossover success, but I gauge success as being able to dream about something and then accomplish it. Whether it's if you say you want to build a house and you build a house, it may not be 10,000 square feet, but only 5,000, but you still built that house.
Mm-hmm.
So then from there I went to do film and television. Did very well with that. I was nominated for the Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor for a film I did with James Woods. I was the governor. I played the title role.
Wow.
And then just stayed in there, worked with everyone from Oprah Winfrey to Sam Jackson to you name it.
Wow.
Lauryn Hill, Omar Epps from House.
Praise God.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah, so, and then from there I had the opportunity to raise my son as a single father. Needed something to do, and we came up with this cool idea about making this healthy, affordable meals and doing this whole celebrity chef thing, and that kind figured it was, been seen on everything from CNN, Dr. Rod's Today Show, Good Morning America, you name it.
Wow. I'm talking to a celebrity. Praise
No,
God.
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm just,
No, you're very, very
man,
humble.
doing what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
But
You're very,
like
very
the Bible says, right? We're good for nothing slaves doing what we ought to do, right?
That's right. That's right. I just, I am so grateful that God has made you a light for us and for yourself and that. And again, I apologize, or not apologize, but I'm sorry that your family had to deal with this complex regional pain syndrome. Well, Charles, when your mom was first diagnosed, how did you, as a family member, deal with that? How did you become more involved in that? And how did you just deal?
I want to say like most, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, she told me she had it, and I was like, okay, I looked it up a little bit and kind of try to figure out what was what, and couldn't figure out what was what. So, she dealt with this, I want to say, for at least 3 years. I would hear about things, and she would say she was going to this doctor. I don't think it took her 8 months just to be, or 9 months just to be diagnosed. And then, it wasn't anything, I don't know, it just was, it wasn't anything that was weird. It wasn't anything that you would say, if somebody says I got cancer, you're like, okay, where is it? If somebody says I got brain cancer, you say, oh my God, no, you know what I'm saying? You know that this is deadly, but with CRPS, it's almost like, okay, I've never heard of it. Let me look it up on the internet. You go on YouTube and you see 1 or 2 videos, and you hear somebody saying, oh, I'm in pain, and you kind of think that maybe it may be in their head, or maybe, so it was one of those things like any one of us would do, unless you're like a spouse where you kind of see that person in tremendous pain, and especially if you're not near that person. I was close enough, but not close enough where I can just go by and see her every day and see that she's in pain. So it was one of those things where it took me a couple of years to really, I did do some research, but I thought, like I said, I remember thinking, telling her, Mom, you just got to walk this out. I saw something online. You kind of got to exercise it out, which was, not the right advice at all. So.
What would you suggest for people with that are family members, for people that have complex regional pain syndrome? What kind of advice would you give them?
Wow, there's so much. I think that wow, you know what? I'd love to say this, and I mean it. I think very soon, I would suggest sharing our film with them and letting them watch and understand what this is, because as a family, as a person with CRPS, they have to have a frame of reference that somebody could actually see something and say, okay, I get it. So, hopefully in the next couple of weeks to months, the world will be able to find our film somewhere. So if you have CRPS, you can share our film, and hopefully they'll see what you're going through, or part of at least a little bit what you're going through. For family members, once again, the education needs to come first. So, but for family members who are dealing and know the pain that the person is going through, just try to be as sympathetic as you can. There were times where I look at my mother's face and I see the pain, and it's when I say it's pain, I can't feel it, but just that look, you just know that I think they would rather just, not be here type look, and if you have a loving heart, if you see something like that, you realize that this person is in pain, so realize that right now. Because trust me, my mom's a little feisty thing, it's at times it's like, boy, But I realized not only is she older, but she's also dealing with pain. So.
In your movie, does it address things like this, where about family members and caregivers, and along with the patients, Nat, or what is it exactly that we should also be expecting besides being educated in your film?
I think the thing with the film is that you could have gone in so many directions with this film. This is the type of film where, you could have, had we had the bigger budget, we could have talked more about so many of the treatment options and visited so many of the places and done so much of this and so on. But I think we got exactly what God wanted us to have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, it's that 5,000 square foot house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It may not be the 10,000 square foot house, but God wanted us to have the 5,000 square foot house.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the stories that we tell, the short journey that we go on, allows people to who, let's say, who have CRPS to get what they wanted, which was a piece that shared their condition, a piece that was able to be used to allow the world to understand what they have, but then also through a messenger who can get it out there for them. Because if you had a beautiful piece and you didn't have a messenger to get the word out to the people, then it wouldn't be heard.
Absolutely.
There's I was telling somebody today, there's a ton of documentaries, boy, that they go to these film festivals, they win every award. They win this one, that one, this one, that one, this award, that award. And you know what? You never hear about those documentaries ever again.
Absolutely.
There's some, just think right now, there's some Japanese filmmaker who made this amazing piece somewhere, or some Indian filmmaker who made an amazing piece somewhere that's winning awards at the film festivals, and we never heard of it.
Absolutely.
We never heard of it. So what it's about is making sure, because I know for a fact we're going to do very well. We may not win an award, but you know what? People want to see this, and I guarantee if this is on Netflix, if there's 1 million people with CRPS,
we're going to watch.
There's going to be 1.5 million watching.
I know I'm going to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly.
And I'm actually even looking forward to maybe, Charles, after I see this one, I'm hoping to see more, maybe in different perspectives or something, of the illness. But I would love, I hope that you don't stop here, because we really need the education, the inspiration, there's so many out there, again, that's committing suicide because of this illness and not getting proper treatments and things, and they really need to be inspired too. They need inspiration. And we all need inspiration. We all have those times where we're down and it takes us a little bit to get back up. And sometimes some of us take a little bit longer than others. And then we need to reach those that aren't seeing the light. And maybe that they'll turn on and be able to see that movie and inspire them also to move forward. So I'm really looking forward.
For the long haul.
Yeah, because reinventing yourself is very, very difficult with this illness. It's ever changing. It's not ever the same. It changes second by second, minute by minute, or I should say minute by minute, second by second. But the point is. Even when we think that we, as patients of complex regional pain syndrome, think we have the pattern down, we don't. We don't, because it's always something new, always something challenging, more trials, more tribulations, and I hope that you continue. I really do.
I am. It's like I said, it's my mother suffers from this. I have met friends in CRPS that, to be honest, I'm so glad. If I didn't If I didn't know this condition, I wouldn't have some of the people that I have in my life right now from CRPS, and that's the type of stuff you can't turn back.
Absolutely.
You can't turn back those hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing I found about complex regional pain syndrome is that if it wasn't for this illness, my life would be so much different, and it might not have even been for the best, because I have met the most awesome people through this illness, and they are true warriors. They are, just really reinventing themselves and working hard to get the word out, but despite their illness. And the people that we meet are so, many of the people are very compassionate and trying to understand, and the communities, we don't always get along, but we try, and but there's this bond yet between us that others can't really understand, because we're in that situation, and they become family. It's like a family outside of our families.
That's right.
It's a blessing to me, and I know that's hard for people to understand, but I wouldn't be the caring, the empathetic person that I am today, and gratitude, most definitely gratitude for the things that when I've lost some of my independence in that, and I'm looking towards, they're saying to be paralyzed, but it's whatever God's will is, and I have learned to appreciate and be grateful for the things that I do have and the things I can do.
I think my uncle said it best. How good and how pleasant it would be before God and man to see the unification of all. And that's where you put people with CRPS right there. You kind of
That's beautiful.
sing that in there, right?
It's beautiful. You did a great job, too.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about, Charles?
No, I think, this is where we're at right now. We have some screenings coming up, and would like to tell them about the process. A lot of people always say, when can we see this? When can we see this?
Okay.
We see this, and I tell them that, we just finished this thing not even 2 weeks ago, and already we've been accepted as official selections to 3 very prestigious film festivals, and we're just getting started, and
Awesome.
We have to market this film. You can't hype something up after it's out. You have to, even like if you're going to show a house, right? You have to bring people to the house so they can get excited about the house. They can purchase the house. Now, if I want to purchase a house today, how long does it usually take? You probably know that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. It can take anywhere from 6 months to a year.
There you go. Exactly the point. And we're just being honest, right?
Right, and there's so many other factors.
So many other factors. If you can squeeze out a house in 3 months, you did well, right?
Right.
That's probably cash. If you got $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 cash, whatever you're paying. But even then, you have problems. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you can imagine finishing a film only 2 weeks ago. If you can buy a house, if it takes that long to buy a house, you can imagine how long it takes to get a movie into theaters or get a movie place. Because even if Netflix says, Charles, we want it today, it's still going to take. They got to figure out where it's going to be placed, how it's going to be placed, what time slot. They got to bump somebody out, because remember, they've got a couple of thousand films that are slated, not just ours. So we're doing, and we want to win awards. We want to enter a ton of these film festivals, and we want to walk away with tremendous recognition. I want to go back on CNN
Awesome.
Give it a chance, and it'll be out sooner than you know it.
Yes,
But in the meantime, you play a part of the social media movement to get this message out to the world. And let's focus on that right now for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we can do that. And I also want to say that did you dedicate the movie at all to anyone or anything like that?
Yeah, it was the young girl Hannah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, the one I said that passed very, very shortly after we finished.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for her family. Yes. Well, Charles, I want to say again, thank you for all that you're doing. Especially, you truly inspire me. Being a person that doesn't even have CRPS, but yet, watching your mom go through it and to be inspired, to be a light for us, and that really means a lot to many of us. We thank you so much for fighting for us. We probably can't say thank you enough. I feel like crying. You have really touched my heart,
You know what? And I know you mean it from the bottom of your heart too as well. But I don't even want to thanks, and I say it humbly. I mean, because the thing is you do what you think somebody would do for you. You know what I'm saying? And at least you hope. And it's my mission. It was what I was it's what I was supposed to do. To be honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was supposed to be me, right? Yeah, I'm talking supposed to. Not like I'm from the South. This was supposed to be me, right? And I'm just playing my position. I'm just a quarterback right now, throwing the ball, and got a bunch of star receivers who are going to catch it and run with it. That's how I look at it. But I do thank you. I understand and I appreciate it. And it's not that what keeps me going. It's knowing that if I only helped one person, it was worth it.
Well, thank you so much. And if you, Charles, know anybody that would like to come tell their story it can be about anything, actually, about as far as illnesses or caregivers or families, loved ones, to help spread the word or even give us another different perspective from your film and things, please contact me, because I'd be more than interested. And I just want to say God bless again.
Let me share, if I can, the websites, right? So people can
please do.
check us out. So if you have website. It's trialbyfiremovie.com, trialbyfiremovie. So that's TRIAL by fire, FIRE movie.com, or my website, which is charlesmattocks.com, CHARLES, MATTOCKS.com.
Great. All right, Charles. Well, I thank you again so much, and like I said, I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing, and God bless your family, and thank you again for coming on and telling us the story, and we're looking forward to seeing the movie so much, and sequels. So, I'll say good night and thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right, you have a good evening, Charles.
Thank you so much, young lady.
Thank you. Bye-bye.